If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the Gnaw on This Business Bites podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bites. I'm Ben and this is Syya. So I have a question for you. Does privacy even exist anymore? I was reading something online the other day where people were screaming murder that LinkedIn was scraping their information for the AI. And it was showing about how you could go into your settings, go into your privacy settings, and stop LinkedIn from scraping your AI. Well, I've got two problems with this. One, they're doing it without permission. Two, all it's doing is stopping AI from scraping your information from today forward, which means, for me, they've got 17 years of my information already scraped and already loaded into their AI, and it's ready to go. So I sit back and realize, from the day we got our first credit card, from the day we got our first driver's license, is there true privacy anymore? Because everything that we have is online. Everything that we say is online. And the truth of the matter is, with a few tools and a few clicks, anything and everything can be scraped, correlated, and turned into whatever. So, Syya, let's gnaw on this.
My friend, I'm shocked that you're shocked that people have our data. It's funny,
No, I'm not shocked about it at all.
You're just annoyed that
I'm annoyed.
So
shocked I haven't been for 25 or 30 years. Since
you're not shooketh?
Oh, no. I mean, this does not outrage me. This just sits there and goes, really? Okay, fine. Another person's scraping my information.
Look, again, I say look a lot, but look, people, I mean look. When I say this. Our data is never and never has been ours, right? Why do you think Facebook, Google, etc.? If you want a free platform that unfortunately is popular and the zeitgeist of our culture like embraces, so LinkedIn is one of those where it has a monopoly. I don't know of any other social media platform that is built around business. Mm-hmm. And granted, LinkedIn is turning into a little bit more of a thirst trap. Even though they say they don't want thirst trap images, I can tell you I've seen anyway. I don't. But here's a whole thing.
That's another conversation altogether. Let's not go there.
Don't distract me, young
man. Don't go there.
Actually, those images, those topless people are distracting me. Okay.
Well, that's it.
Bring it back. Let me reel it back in. We're using a platform for free. We know that the platform is a conduit so they can gather information and that they can use it for whatever purposes they want, whether they want to sell that data, they want to better understand their people's whatever, or market, or leverage that data for potential sponsorship. We just live in that age right now, guys, that I am under no false assumption that any platform I use. When I play Candy Crush, I know damn well they're logging all the hours I play on that damn thing. At what time of day I'm doing that. And whoever wants to market me, whether it's other games, if you even spend a penny on any game, guess what? You are on that game list because they know you've already done it once.
Exactly.
So, I think it's just take precautions. Know that your data is going out there. So that means kids and old peoples and people who aren't technically savvy, don't be sliding into people's DMs with a you-know-what pic, right? You can't assume, even Snapchat, right? In the beginning, they're like, 8 seconds and then it goes away. Yeah, it goes away for you to receive it. It doesn't go away.
Somebody can still hit print screen.
Yeah. but it doesn't go in their databases. It's in
No,
there.
that's right.
I mean, whew, that's why. Again, I'm on a rant right here because Ben, anyone that thinks they can protect themselves by, I'm completely off the grid. You're on the grid still, no matter what. You got a social security number, you're on the grid.
Yeah.
And that's just the way our life is. So how do you do it? You got to take the precautions.
Well, I mean, here's the thing 99.9% of people never read the terms and conditions before they hit,
Yes.
except, I mean, I have known to doom scroll through terms and conditions that go for pages and pages and pages, go, yeah, whatever, click. I accept it. Guess what? I still accepted it. Whether I read it, whether I understood it, as soon as I hit that accept key, I'm playing in their sandbox and by their rules. And the truth of the matter is, I'm on both sides of social media. Number one, I'm a user. So I'm playing on the platform. Number two, when I produce ads, I'm scraping that information, or I'm getting the social media platforms to scrape that information. So I have demographics, psychographics, and a whole bunch of other information. So I'm targeting the right people with the right ad in the right way. So, and none of that would be even possible if people sat there and said, wait a second, you can't use my information, you can't have my information, then none of these platforms would be free and probably none of them would exist. So we need to sit back and realize that as huffy as we get about our privacy and our, being able to protect our information, the information's out there, whether we like it or not. I mean, we think we just shared an image, as you said, with a friend. Okay, that information sits in some database somewhere. But more than that, that friend can hit print screen, save that picture, and bring it back 10 years from now.
Trust no one.
Whether it's trust no one or just more thing is, would you say anything online, or would you do anything online, or would you share anything online that you wouldn't show your 92-year-old grandmother? And I think if more people took that mentality, first of all, there'd be a lot less garbage on the internet. There'd be a lot less vitriol on the internet. And you'd actually have something that would be far more interesting to be part of. But it's that vitriol and that spreads and causes people to engage, that causes things to go viral. And therefore, it's all that information that's being stored in terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of storage space and amalgamated and algorized and whatever you want to use it for, to be able to turn around and resell you something else that you didn't even know that you wanted or needed.
I mean, the majority of people don't understand, right? If you're on the internet as we see it, everything is collected. We know this. There are folks that are more technically savvy, and they are the ones where they will post. They think they're posting wait, try to say. The ones that are more tech savvy know there are places, the deepest, darkest parts of the internet, the dark web, right, to conduct and do whatever they need to do. But society at large, in general, us people, I'd say 99.99% of the people watching this, I'd even dare say 99.999 of the people watching this use the standard internet. They're not going to be going to no dark web. And they don't, a lot of these trolls think, oh, I'll be posting anonymously, or I'll bounce it off a bunch of different servers. You can't track me. Yeah, we'll track you. It will be. The question is who has the time and energy to track you? That's what you should be looking out for, right? Because no matter what you do or say, if someone wants to take the time to find you, you will be found. Period.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, so again, it goes back to, let me be the counter person on this. I don't care about my data anymore because it's so ubiquitous, the ability to get my data. I don't have anything to hide. I have nothing to hide, Ben. So I'm just going to do what I do and lead my life how I do. And, oh yeah, I might accidentally, I might intentionally, email my mom my social security number that's unencrypted. What's going to happen? What's the worst going to happen?
Could be really bad. More than likely, nothing.
And I think it's a false sense of safety and security is, oh, well, if everyone's data is out there, then I've got nothing to hide. That's not the case, because
No,
oftentimes, here's another thing, guys, with, security in general and your profile and your essence of who you are being out in zeros and ones. The reality is, a lot of times when they try to take your identity, or if they're trying to like grab information, it's A, to steal money, maybe but find information from you, but usually from a hardware perspective, they're just trying to get your resources. So
yeah,
maybe they want to use your machine, have access to all your passcodes and all that stuff, so they can leverage your compute power for a lot of nefarious needs, because
exactly.
that's the other thing too. It's just people think more advanced. And by the way, with AI, they can find you so much faster.
Oh, absolutely. And this is not to scare people. This is for people to be aware. This is for people to sit there and say, okay, what's shareable? What's not shareable? I mean, I tell a story of this going back 25 years ago. And when I was doing direct mail for the casino business, and I walked into their server room on the first day I started working with them, and I sat down at a terminal and I started to drool. And they go, "What are you doing?" I go, "Do you know what information you guys have?" He says, "Yeah, we got players cards on people." I said, "No. You know what game they play, how long they play it, how much they bet, how often they bet, how often they come down, how long they stay, who they come down with. You have their birthday, you might have their wedding anniversary, and a bunch of other material." We were able to create direct mail campaigns that got a 45% in the casino response rate, month
Wow.
after month, for 3 years running. Now, typical on direct mail is 3 to 5%. We were getting 45% because we knew everything about them. I did the same thing for the grocery industry because we would find out, oh, wait a second, these women were pregnant. Great.
Mm.
For the next 3 to 5 years, they got bumped from one list to the next list to the other list, from Pampers to Pablum to to this to that, the other thing, moving them through the life cycle of their children, of the different things that they should buy within the grocery store. So we knew over the next 5 years we had them as customers because we were constantly feeding them coupons that were relevant for them and their buying habits at that point of their lives.
It's just reminds me, it's 20 years old now, but when that girl found out she was pregnant, Target knew she was pregnant before she knew she was pregnant. That
Absolutely.
is that is 20 years ago, folks.
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago that stat happened. Real life, IRL. So you cannot tell me 20 years later it ain't that much more advanced. Come on now. Yeah.
It's just more sophisticated, and the ability to scrape information is more sophisticated, and the ability to collaborate information is sophisticated. I mean, I can take a survey of 100,000 employees, and it doesn't just have to be A, B, C, or D on the answer. I can say write short answers. I don't care. Write short answers. I feed it into an AI database, and all of a sudden I say, look for patterns. Look for keyword search. Look for patterns. Look for for key names, and be able to get correlated information. Now, I may not know who said what and when and how, because we've anonymized the actual names within the survey, and that should be done on purpose. But I can get a pretty good correlation of how those 100,000 people think, what they want, what they're scared of, what they're passionate about, etc., based on how they answer a certain number of questions and how those answers correlate with each other. So we need to understand that the world is moving faster and faster.
Yeah.
The information is, can be grabbed and disseminated extremely quickly. And we need to sit there and say, okay, are we okay with this? Are we okay with this because it benefits us in the long run? Because a lot of it does. Let's be, because companies are able to target you, you're not getting a whole bunch of stuff that is superfluous to you. You're getting
Yeah.
the stuff that you care about. Great. That's the benefit. and you're getting targeted for ads or stuff that you care about. You're getting social media posts that you care about. You're getting, news articles that you're interested in. All of that is great stuff. But the thing is, we have to realize that there's a cost to that. And the cost of it is they're grabbing all your information and they're utilizing it as they see fit, not as you would like to have it used.
100%. Look, that's like all nice and dandy, get marketed to and all that. I'm more concerned about like insurance, seeing the behavior. Let's say, for example, I'm a rock climber. You cannot begin to tell me that when I'm in like my search and pursuit of rock climbing, at some point they're going to be like, we know you like to climb rock, sunshine. Mm-hmm. That falling situation, there's a premium for that.
Your insurance rates just went up 30% or 50% or 100%.
Or heaven forbid, and this is why I'm like really like anti, like I'm not giving you my DNA, which is, oh, look, you have a proclivity to get cancer. We're good. You're 40 years old. You're 50 years old. You're 60 years old. Yeah, we definitely don't want to like cover you anymore unless you want to pay a massive premium.
What if you're 25 years old and all of a sudden your insurance gets canceled because you have a 5% higher chance of getting cancer someday?
And that's the bigger part too, that why you should care, right? Because again, this is your own personal information, and peeps, this is again, if you submit your DNA into those real, cool little genetic whatever, which we found out may not be the most accurate, which is even worse because they're going to take that inaccurate information and still judge you by it. Like, okay, look, it's great in the ads where they're like, oh, look, you have a proclivity to like coffee. Are you kidding me? Guess what, sunshine? Now you got all the coffee companies hitting up after you. That's great. But then at the same time, the insurance company's looking and going, oh, hey, that's a very caffeinated person. I wonder how their heart health is. Oh, wait, look, here's a secondary trait. Oh, your family is prone to heart cardiovascular issues. Boop. Guess what? They like coffee. They have cardiovascular issues. Oh, wait, guess what? They don't like to exercise. Triple whammy. I'm telling you guys, take care of what you put out there, how you consider it. And if you have questions, there are people that can help you. Hit me up in the DMs. Obviously, me and Ben will be happy to direct you. I've got tons of cybersecurity friends who can tell you the fundamentals. And then we can also talk to you. Please.
So let's breathe and let's call it there, because this is a topic that could go 100 different directions. We need to realize and be cognizant about the information that we're putting out there, why we're putting it out there, who gets access to it, and what it's going to be used for. In a lot of the cases, we don't have any choice. We put it out there, and everybody's got to kick at your can. So think about that. Let's leave it there. It's a great thing to dawn. I'm Ben.
I'm Syya, still breathing.
And we'll see you soon.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Not On This, Business Bites. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Not On This, Business Bites.